Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, so this is our third and final part of the 2024 P5 mock test paper discussion. So for now, for this session, we're only going through two questions, which is question 16 and question 17. Okay, so these are the final two questions of the paper. Right. So let's start. So we'll have question number 16. Now, there were some passengers on the MRT train at Bedok station. 1/5 of the passengers got off and 27 passengers boarded it. Okay, so this is your first situation. Let me just highlight. 1/5 passengers got off means they alighted and 27 passengers boarded, so they come on board. Now, at City Hall, 1/3 of the passengers, so this 1/3 of the passengers is inclusive of the 27 passengers that board. Okay, so passengers got off and 12 passengers boarded the train. If there were 862 passengers left in the train, how many passengers were there in the train at first? So how do you solve this? All right, you will need to work backwards. Okay, so you must work backwards. Working backwards would mean that when the situation calls for it, like for example, 12 passengers board, so that means they come on board of the train. So how do you work backwards? You have to subtract because they have to remove them from the train. Okay, so that's how working backwards work. Now let's see. Let's try and see whether we will. Okay, let me try and draw the model, see if it works. All right, so first we have this situation. So we are left with 862 passengers. Now, 862 passengers is actually 2/3 of the people that were from City Hall. Okay, City Hall. Correct? And then after that, there were 12 passengers that board. Okay, and then of which this is what's left, which is 862. So this would be one unit, and then this would be another unit. Right, so this is what happens. Now, so in order for us to find the amount of people for these two units of the people that were at City Hall, okay, what you need to do is working backward means you have to take 862 minus the 12 that boarded. So that's your first step. Okay, so 862 minus 12, you are left with 850. So that's for two units, remember? So of course, the next step is to find one unit. Okay, so one unit would be 850 divided by 2. And then you will need to find 3 units. That's the number of people that was on the way to City Hall. Means from Bedok to City Hall, that's the number of people. Okay, which is this entire model. Right, so that's what we are going to find. So we have 1/3 is 850 divided by 2. And then 3, which is 3 units, will be 425 times 3. Okay, so then that once you've established this, now we will draw the second part of the model, which is at Bedok. Okay, so now we'll draw Bedok. So at Bedok, what happens is 1/5 of the passengers got off. So this whole thing, all right, so this whole model, the one that is at City Hall, is actually 4 out of 5 of the people that was at Bedok. So let's, I will need to, never mind. I cannot decrease the size, can I? Let's see whether I can. Oh, I can. Okay, draw a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is 1/5 of the people that alighted. So whatever that's here, this 1,275 is actually the 27 passengers that board and the 4 out of 5. Okay, so this is fraction. So this is 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. So same thing apply because these people boarded. Okay, so in order for you to find 4 units, you will need to get rid of them because instead of adding, you are working backwards. So you need to remove them from the train. So 4 out of 5 of the people at Bedok will be 1,275. And then you remove the 27 people. So that's 4 units. Okay, and then of course, to find out how many passengers were there at first, you will need to find 5 units. So find 1 unit first, 1,248 divided by 4. That's 1 unit. And then you'll multiply it by 5 to get 5 units. Okay, so this is your next step. So 1 unit would be 1,248 divided by 4. And then subsequently, you multiply it by 5. Okay, so that's how you solve it. Right now. So let's discuss another way to solve this. Okay, so move on to same question, just that another alternative. Okay, so there were some passengers on the train, right? So just now we work backwards. So first, at Bedok station, we have 5 units. Okay, so that's at first 5 units. Now, what happened at Bedok? It became 4 units plus the 27 that bought. Okay, so this portion here, so this portion here, 4 units plus the 27 that bought is equal to 3 parts. Okay, so you remember, it's equals to the 3 parts that were at City Hall. So that's how you get this. See, 4 units plus 27 is equals to 3 parts. Okay, and then remember some people alighted and some people boarded. So 2 people or 2 parts, these 2 units here. Now we cannot use units for this because we have units and parts. So I'll change this to parts. 1 part and 2 parts. Okay, so these 2 parts plus 12 is equals to 862. Okay, so far so good, right? So now, next. So how do you find 2 parts? Same thing. Okay, 2 parts will be 862 minus 12. And then to find 1 part will be 850 divided by 2, which is 425. Okay, and then of course, you will need to find 3 parts. That's next. Okay, which is, or you can straight away find 3 parts, which is equal to 4 units plus 27. Okay, so 4 units is equals to 3 parts minus 27. Okay, so 425 times 3, you will have 3 parts. I wouldn't write it this way, okay? My take is for you to straight away find 3 parts first. So from 1 part, find 3 parts first, which is 425 times 3. 425 times 3, you would get 1275. Yeah, that would be less confusing. Okay, so then after that, for 1275, which is equals to the 4 units plus the 27, remember? So in order for you to find 4 units, you will need to minus 27. So 1275 minus 27. Then the rest of the method would be the same. Okay, which is 1248. And then you find 1 unit, and then you find 5 units. Okay, so it'll take a while to process this. So let's move on to question number 17. Okay, question 17. 10 centimeter sticks are used to make patterns of T block shapes. Okay, so you can see here, the first pattern, we have 1 block, but how many 10 cm sticks do you use? You will need 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then 2 patterns would be 2 times 2 blocks, and then it's 17. Instead of 20, it's 17. Why? Because this part here, 1, 2, 3, that is overlapping. Okay, so you only need one side. So that's why you don't need 2 times 2, or you can times 2, but you will need to minus the extras. Okay, the overlap part. So on and so forth. So this is the pattern. Now, if you notice, okay, the pattern is always 3. Number of blocks is 3. So the number of blocks, then you multiply it by 7. Because remember, there's the overlap. All right, so there's a part that overlaps, so you only require 7. However, you will need to add 3. Okay, so if you notice, that's the pattern. Second block, you multiply it by 7. Then you plus 3. Okay, then same thing, pattern number 3. So 3, number of blocks is 3. You multiply it by 7. That's 21. And then you plus 3. So where do you get this 3? This 3 is actually the part that overlaps. Okay, so you will still need to add it back. Now, so having said that, once you've established the pattern, so to answer part A, so how many sticks are used to make pattern 7? So same thing. So the number of blocks or the pattern number, multiply it by 7, and then plus 3. Okay, so that's how you solve the first part. Oh, sorry, this A. Yeah. N times 7, n giving to the number of blocks, okay? So regardless, if let's say you are finding pattern number 10, then n will be 10. Okay, so 7 times 7 plus 3, therefore your answer is 52. Right, next. For part B, the question is asking for how many sticks are used to make pattern number 125? So just now, like I mentioned, the pattern number is actually the number of blocks. So if it's 125 blocks, means it's pattern number 125. But just apply the formula, so same thing applies, right? So number of pattern, which is 125, multiply it by 7. Let me just remove. Okay, so you multiply it by 7, and then you add 3. So 125 times 7 plus 3. You will get 878. Now, the last part is slightly trickier. Okay, so how do you find, the last question is asking you for the perimeter of the pattern with 180 T blocks. So how many sticks will you need? Okay, so pattern number is 180. right? And then after that, you will need to multiply it by 4. Okay, hold on, let me just sort this out. Let's come up with another table. All right, now, so for part C, you are supposed to find out how many, what is the parameter when you give the pattern. Okay, so first you have to establish what is the pattern to find out what's the parameter. So look carefully at your first sheet. Okay, so in order for you to find the parameter, see this T shape at the top, there's actually 3 10-centimeter sticks. So there's 1 at the top and 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then after which you also notice that the sides is made up of 6 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if let's say there's one T block, there's 4 of the parameter that you need to count. Then you need to add the 2 sides. Okay, so again, the one at the sides will be always be 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Correct? So here also, if you notice, pattern 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So whatever the pattern is, you know you must always add 6. Now, how about the T shape? Remember, to form the T, you will need a total of 4 sticks. Okay, so since this is the second pattern means there's 2 T's, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 T. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 T's. See the trend? So here there's 3 T's, so there should be 3 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second T, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the third T, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you notice that's the pattern. So to find the parameter, you know that you will need to find the number of T's. Let me just write this down. So number of T blocks, which is the pattern number. Then you need to multiply it by 4 because every T has 4 sides that you need to count. Correct? And then you need to plus 6 because the one that I indicated in red. Because every pattern, it has to have that ending point, the 6 at the end. Okay, so that's the pattern. Of course, this is just the number of sticks that you need. So because the question asks you for measurement, okay, how many centimeter? So whatever your number here, okay, you will need to multiply it by 10 because they're asking for centimeters. So whatever you're counting, this 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 2 sides, you are just counting the number of sticks. But every stick, remember, is 10 centimeters. So you will still need to multiply it by 10. Okay, so the last question is asking for pattern number 180. So same thing, 180, multiply it by 4, plus the 2 sides, the 6, and then you need to multiply it by 10. That's your answer. Okay, so as mentioned, this is the pattern, number of T block times 4 plus 6. And then after that, you need to multiply by 10 centimeter. So pattern number 180 times 4 plus 6 times 10 would give you 7,260. Okay, so I understand it's not easy. Patterns are not easy. So it might take you a while, but don't give up. Okay, so it might not be easy to see the pattern, but you should spend some time on it. Okay, try and work it out. All right, we have now come to the end of the paper actually. So this was the last question. So all the best and happy working. or happy working up the mock exam paper. Till next time. Bye everybody.